Good day traders, this is Salim Dlalose. I'm just going to show you guys an area of interest and a possible trade. But before I go further, please don't forget to subscribe and make sure that you click on the bell icon so that you are the first one to view my video when I post them. Okay, now I want to show you because this is very interesting. This is actually a GBP NZD. The date is the 10th of April 2020, and we are going to be focusing mainly on this bar right here. By the way, I'm on a 5-minute chart. Yes, I usually trade 5-minute charts and 4-hour charts, but because of the market conditions lately, I just scalp on 5-minute charts only. Right. Why this specific bar? If you look at our tick indicator, tick volume indicator here, we can clearly see, let me move this out of the way. You can clearly see that there was a big jump here, right, of ticks here. This is the tick volume indicator, and the good thing about this particular tick volume indicator, it tells us that it was buyers a volume. It was buyers volume. That's why it's green in color. So if it's red, it's going to be sellers. As you can clearly see there, it actually shows you upticks 64, and you can clearly see under there were no buyers at all. So there were no sellers at all. It was just strictly buyers, or even the previous candle as well. The buyers were ruling. Okay, but more than anything else, let's focus on how you need to be trading this particular setup when you see it happening on your charts. Okay, so the first thing is that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting in a horizontal line on the open of that particular bar. Yes, so this is the horizontal line on the open of that particular bar. That's very, very important. You don't need to put it anywhere else but on the open. Even if there is a spike down, you don't need to put it on a spike down, but you need to put it on the open of that particular bar, because the open is the most important and the close is the most important. The highs and the lows, they are important, but the open and the close, that's what you need to be focusing on, right? So this is a very easy trade setup if you see it happening in front of your eyes, because you just need to place an order, walk away, or wait for the markets to start approaching that area and start buying. So you've got two options. You can place an order here. For example, if I put in my crosshair at 2.0456, so this is the area where you need to be putting on a buy order here, right here. Whenever the market comes and touches here, you need to have a buy order. Why? Because you've already seen this bar only on its own, it was around 64 pips. So 64 pips on one 5-minute bar tells you a story. What is the story behind that? Excuse me. The story behind that is that there was a lot of buyers, and the buyers dominated on that particular a level. Also, another thing that I want you to understand is when you are running and you running against a very strong wall, it's highly likely you're not going to break it. You're actually going to bounce off it and fall. So this is the very same scenario that we are talking about here. The price is currently here. This is the wall that we are talking about here. So it's highly likely that even if you come running towards this wall, you're highly likely to bounce off this wall. Okay, it will depend whether you'll bounce off this wall a few pips, or you'll bounce off this wall and never go back there because of the pain that you've experienced there. But the most important thing is you will bounce off that wall, because that is a very strong wall. Why am I saying it's a very strong wall? Because we have seen, right, based on the chart, what is happening here. It's not we are guessing this particular trade. We have seen what the markets did here, and because of that information only, as traders, as smart traders, we know exactly with a high probability what is highly likely to happen when the price goes back to the very same level as well. So It's simple and straightforward, ladies and gents. You just need to have a buy order. Usually what I do is I wait for the market to approach that level and start buying, because sometimes it happens that before it even gets into that zone, somewhere around there, it turns around and starts going upwards, because already there's other smart traders that have realized that there's a strong wall there, and the price is highly likely to bounce off of that wall. So they'll be ready already with their algorithms, with their orders. They'll be already buying when the market approaches that particular level, and that's what you need to be doing. Does it work out all the time? No. Does it work out most of the time? Yes. So trading is about probabilities. Yes, it might happen that the price comes and takes this level and starts trending down. It does happen. But now let's talk about your stop loss. Your stop loss on this particular setup, you have to look at the lowest lows, right, on that particular zone, of which the lowest lows, we are looking at this particular level. So if ever you're going to be placing an order and walking away, your stop loss has to be at least 10 pips below this level. Okay, at least 10 pips below this zone. That's very, very important, because if you place your stop loss way too tight, you find that the markets will come take out this level, punch out the stop losses, and then reverse, because it will be triggering buy orders and comes back and triggers more stop losses here, and then it will actually going to turn, and you'll be out of that trade. So you need to make sure that at least your stop loss is 10 pips below that particular low, so that you can try to be safer on that particular trade. So it's a very simple and easy setup when you see it. As I said, ladies and gents, it doesn't work all the time, but it works most of the time. So what you can do is you can go through your charts and look at these zones, and try to see exactly what happened on those particular zones. There's another zone right here that I just spotted, but just going back, there we go. This zone, the market pushed away around 32 pips, and then the market came back on that zone right there, and you're already waiting for your order right there on that open of that bar, and the market came and touched that zone, and from there it kept on going up and up and up and up. And if you had identified that as a possible buying zone based on this particular candle, that's a very, very good setup. There's a lot of these setups. If you go back on the charts, there's quite a lot of these setups. If you go and hunt them properly, you will see them. But the trick is to use the tick volume indicator to identify these particular zones. It's very, very important to focus on a tick volume indicator, because the tick volume indicator will show you exactly what happened on that particular zone. It will separate your buyers from your sellers, and you will be able to see exactly what happened based on your buyers and sellers. So yeah, today the markets are a little bit slow. The volumes are and they're not that great. As you can see, the buyers are trying to really step up and try to dominate the markets, but still, when they hit that level, the price just doesn't want to get above that level. And for me personally, I haven't taken any trade. You can clearly see it's 11:47. I haven't taken any trade, because all the markets, you can clearly see even GBP as well, we are really, really struggling. GBP is still the strongest between the three most powerful pairs. You can see GBP, that's euro, that's dollar. GBP is still the strongest amongst the three, but the volume on that particular level, I'm not really happy. You can clearly see the volumes are not that attractive, even though the price is going up. So I'm not in any trade so far. If the volume at some stage start going up, as you can see, the price is going up, and the volume, if it starts going up as well significantly, I'll gladly start looking at the pair, because the king so far for the day is GBP. Okay, so but don't forget about the setup. Go practice, go look at these scenarios, and even on demo account, and go back to the history and look at these zones. The indicator, I know a lot of people are going to ask me about this particular indicator. It's going to be right below the video. You're going to get the indicator, and you can put it on your chart and try it out and test it out and see how it works for you. But before I go, as I always say, share this video with your friends, share with your cousin, share with other traders, and make sure you subscribe. And yeah, happy trading, ladies and gents.